So here's the start of the drive off the paved road coming from Lake Powell or Bullfrog. Ends up being a fairly rough road. It's not bad at first, but I chose to drive the RAV4 today, save some fuel. We'll see how that goes. I'd rather be driving the truck, but I know I can make it far enough. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. We'll see. Now, it's not too big of a deal to take a vehicle like a RAV4 on this, but you just have to be really careful. It obviously doesn't have the clearance of a truck or anything. There's no big named obstacles or anything like that on this road, but you just do have to be careful. I've seen up at the trailhead, I've seen Subaru Outbacks, RAV4s, smaller like mid-sized trucks or whatever, things like that, but it is nice to just have a higher clearance vehicle like a Jeep or something. It just makes it so easy. You don't have to be so careful, because if something happens out here, then you're in a lot of trouble. You're far from help. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is one of the spots that you could end up denting an oil pan or something. So coming up the road, I decided to stop right here. This is actually a BLM side near Capitol Reef. You see just a little pull-off slash campsite. And Capitol Reef National Park, I'm actually in the BLM side right now, is just up to these little fence posts here, just a couple hundred yards out the way. I decided to stop there just because you can see that the road gets a little more hairy. I have been made it up this before with the RAV, but I'd rather not chance it. It's quite a bit more rough. So I'll just make the couple 100-yard hike and save myself the risk. Now, if you had a Jeep or high clearance vehicle like I normally would drive my Dodge Ram, and it makes it up this, no problem. But you can see it's just a little bit much for a small SUV. So while I'm going up this, I'll kind of give the backstory of this hike for me. This is, or will be, my third attempt. I've been here 4 times, attempted twice, or excuse me, this is my 4th time being here. Attempted twice so far, and got skunked both times, mostly because of water and some obstacles. So that's kind of why it makes me nervous, the fact that it just rained some, as you can see. So hopefully it didn't rain so much that it'll be an issue. Coming back up that overlook is brutal. So now We're officially on the national park side, Capitol Reef. So just on the registry, and I'll show you the overlook. And you can actually see the bridges from here. This isn't a super long hike, but it's deceivingly difficult. So this is Halls Creek Overlook. You gotta traverse quite a ways to the north before you come back down through that wash, and then through the canyon. You can see right in the middle there, and then the bridges are just past that. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I can definitely see them. The elusive bridges, Brimhall bridges, or as some say, Capitol Reef, Brimhall bridges. I'm really hoping that the rain that I can see up north is not to come washing down this, what's called Waterpocket Fold, this main wash. I would say probably the majority of the water that rains up north from Capitol Reef comes right down this wash. So it is definitely a flash flood potential. Looks pretty dry right now though. Here's hoping. I hope I can make it. Like I say, this hike is not the longest hike in the world to the bridges. I think it says 2.4 miles. But it's deceiving. Where it says carry water there, that's the trick, man. It's hard to carry enough water. My pack, I bet half the weight of my pack is water. I'm carrying about almost 6 liters. So here we go. There's the start. Kind of see it on down there. Let's get rolling. Giddy up. So as I was saying, the trick, or one of the tricks or dangers of this hike, is the fact that you're in very dry desert Utah, even though it just got done raining. That's somewhat rare. And when it does rain, it all goes to one place. It's Lake Powell, so it's definitely a flash flood risk in many places. But what I dread the most on this hike, besides some of the obstacles, is coming back up this thing, this overlook. You know, it's not the lightest guy in the world, and uphill is not generally my forte. It's about, I think, just under 1,000 feet of climbing coming back up, and that's at the end of the hike. So it's not where I want it to be. It's a beautiful area. You know, heat can be a real issue here. Obviously, it's not weird for it to get 100 degrees plus. Being in desert Utah, but right now it's really nice. After a little rain, it's clouded up. Perfect. I hope it's that way coming back up. I don't know if I hope it's that way for my photograph this evening, or tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll just have to adjust if I make it at all. So you can see this is where I came from, and this is really where it starts going down more significantly. Most of the descending or climbing is kind of compressed to a short distance. That's why it's so brutal. But at this point, where it starts to turn really down, you may begin to wonder, like, why are we so far north? of the canyon. It seems like this trail traverses quite a ways north before you actually start going down. I don't know why. Well, it's more just, you know, switchbacks and more direct. But I guess they didn't ask me, so. But anyway, you might just wonder if you're going the wrong direction. You're not. It's a pretty obvious trail, even down the wash. It's hard to get too lost over there, and you can see the canyon for the whole way. So here I am at the wash at the bottom here, and you can see just the slightest bit of water there. This is actually the first time you can see the trail. There's a cairn there. The trail here that goes across there. Believe it or not, this being the third time that I've hiked this, this is the first time I've been able to actually cross where the trail is. Every time I've come, I've had to go about 200-300 yards to the north to go across on some rocks. So this is a very good sign, hopefully. You can see just a little bit of water there. That's awesome. You can see where it greens up down here a little bit. Next we'll head into the canyon here very shortly. Here we go. So drop down in here, and that'll take us to the first obstacle, which is a little rock wall. There's no real clear defined trail through here, so you just kind of have to pick your way. I mean, you're kind of in not really a slot canyon, but a fairly narrow canyon, so it's not like you can go a lot of different ways. I'm glad to finally show people this hike. I have no idea how long it's been that I've wanted to. It's not that it's so obscure that nobody's ever heard of it, but there's just not much information out there at all. So I'm happy to hopefully finally bring it to you. I love weird places, and this is definitely one of them. You would think that it'd take a lot of water to fill this wash and get all the way out back to the main Waterpocket Fold. I don't know. It probably doesn't take as much as I think. So, coming up on first obstacle here, or what I call an obstacle. A rock climber may call it nothing. And although it doesn't look like a whole lot, I have to say the first time I did it, it messed with my head a little more than I thought it would. So this little rock wall here, gotta get up and over that to the next quote-unquote obstacle. But as you can see, people have stacked rocks over the years to make it not such a big deal. The trick is just knowing where to step, I guess. A little more difficult with a pack, but one thing I want to show is this hole, or pothole I guess you'd say, next to it. If this is full of water, you can almost guarantee the next obstacle will be too. So I filled my Nalgene bottle going out of my pack, and there she sits. At least it's floating. This is what waits on the other side. It's a nice gnarly looking wash or canyon. So I gotta be honest, I'm getting a little nervous because I come up to the part that if it's full of water, this pothole, then it's not necessarily impossible to get across, but it is very, very difficult. Seeing this, just a little water in here, I think is a pretty good sign. I hope those are tadpoles and not water bugs. Oh, they're tadpoles, yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Tadpoles I don't mind. Water bugs, not as much. So the last time I was here, I'll show that video. This thing was completely full of water. I mean, it probably would have been over my head for sure. Last time, water was almost up to the bottom of this rock. This is the second obstacle. It usually turns most people around. It's even fuller than last time. Not sure I have the skills to get through here or not. We'll see. I might give it a try. Oh, come on. Oh man, wow, that's a lot deeper than I realized. Yes. Whew. You guys have no idea what a relief this is. Man, awesome stuff. I have no idea. Oh, I do know what's beyond the rock the bridges are, but beyond this boulder here, so you can see where the line of water has been. And this line here, all the way across up to that boulder over there. So it's definitely over my head or anybody's head. That makes it really difficult to get up and over that boulder on the other side, especially if you have a pack or anything like that. But beyond that boulder, I have no idea. I've never been beyond there, so good stuff, man. Gosh, I'm excited to see it. If I can give a decent reference of how deep this thing goes. Gosh, this is nuts. I've never seen this. Gosh, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 feet deep. And then same over there. Oh, amazing. Oop, there's a little frog. It smells really musty in here. Whew. Well, let me try to get up and over this rock, and I'll see you on the other side. So that's where I just came up. Man, it was tough to wedge yourself up through that rock. Yeah, I can't see how anybody would do that when the water's high. That'd be insane. Or maybe if it was real high, you could just swim over it. I don't know. And it was not easy. So then, once you get past that, you still have a pretty nice little boulder field to get up and over, and probably on up after that. Did I mention that it's a rugged hike? It's a rugged hike. So after that big wash, in boulder, picking away through the boulders here, come to another little pothole, or not pothole, but wash or what have you, and then it goes up again. So it just doesn't stop, man. It's a rough one. And to be honest, at the moment, I think you go up and then left, I believe. So you can see where I came up there, kind of, and there are a few cairns along the way. And surprisingly, once you've done some fairly serious scrambling up there, you can actually see a little bit of a trail actually pick up here. Kind of surprised about that. Hopefully it doesn't go up higher and over. Hopefully it goes up out and around here. But we'll see. I'm just excited to see something that resembles a trail. So I just came, after all that scrambling with the big rocks and such, end up in another wash, and come to the end of it. Kind of see there, like another corner or incline. But then there's a bunch of cairns here, and guess where they go? Up again. Whew, this hike is even more formidable than I thought it would be. Whew. But I came this far, so there was a time not long ago that would have said after the wash, or the pothole in that boulder, it's all smooth sailing, all downhill from there, except for this uphill. And the boulders after the boulder. She's a steep one. Really at the potholes where it really starts to get difficult. Fortunately, there's plenty of cairns. You get to the top of this, and then you gotta go back downhill to get to the bridges, which I'm really hoping is cairn as well. So close. So close. Keep trudging along here. So I drop back down into another wash. That seems to be the name of the game. Hopefully you guys can see I'm starting to lose daylight. But through this wash, it takes you right up to the arches. Holy smokes. I was beginning to think I'd never make it. Or at least I think it takes you to the arches. Or bridges, excuse me. Natural bridges. Man, if you get twisted ankle or something like that in here, good luck. Well, there are more trees in here than I thought there would be. That's good, because I brought a hammock. Wasn't sure I'd have anything to, or for sure, have anything to hook it to. Man. Here it is. Oh man. Windy in here. It's amazing to think. I mean, we can't see, or I can't see the overlook from here. But from the overlook, you're easily high enough to see the bridges like down into it. So here they are. Might be too dark for you to see them. I'll try in the morning. You get a better glimpse. So I've never seen any pictures of this stuff, you know, kind of a somewhat trail all the way underneath, you know, where the wash goes, how close you can get. So it's interesting information to me. Can't really see the separation right there, but I just gotta find a spot to shoot. Very, very cool. There's actually a little alcove back a little bit. I don't know if that would be a good camping spot or not. We'll see. Hopefully some of these clouds clear.